And I'm back again. So I had an issue last night where I got a notification, or actually I didn't get a notification, but I noticed the printer went offline. And I ran over to see what was up, because I was in painting class, and it turns out there was a stepper motor issue. And it failed completely. It just stopped right there. So now I gotta figure out what happened. And if that's related to the heat bed issue, which shouldn't be. That was my fault, but the heat bed happened. So, yeah. Let's figure out. The only thing I can think of that will cause a stepper motor issue is maybe the cable for the that pulls the bed back and forth. Sometimes gets caught on the lip of the metal. It's a pretty piss poor design. It can get stuck, and that could, I imagine, trigger something that would disable stepper motor. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Where's my music? There it is. Hang on a second, I'm going to edit this window for a second. I'm going to adjust its properties real quick. Let's go to something else so I have see the screen better. I need like a visual so I can adjust the dimensions. Make sure I got a good crop going on. There we go. Twitter going on. Okay, that's much better. That way I can see we got another browser running. I try not to get these things to overlap each other. That's the trick. These browser sources, they can have a similar title, but if you open a separate tab, then I could accidentally, I'm afraid I might show off like a stream key or something important. So I'm trying to avoid that right now. It's my dashboard again. Oh, I should have thought of this before, so I don't know. Today is all higgledy piggledy. Isn't every day, though? Yeah, I figured out that it's best to have two different channels going on. Two different browsers going on while you are streaming. There we go. Get signed into Mob Crush again. Cool. The unified chat up. And it should show everybody. imagine. Although I should probably get to Restream. Get to Restream real quick. Let's add. I want YouTube events. I want to add just YouTube. I hate how it's confusing YouTube. The Google accounts can be like I have multiple Google accounts that inadvertently got assigned. It's kind of weird. I hate this new policy about to help YouTube. I'll figure YouTube out later. Whatever. Got it all together now. There we go. Okay, we're all set up. Making sure everything looks kosher. I'm not sure if I like the new Twitch stream interface. It seems a little too minimalistic. I like information. I like knowing shit's going wrong. Whatever. So, let's figure out what's going on with our printer now. I need to order some super long USB cables off Amazon. That's another thing I need. And then in just a bit, we'll start priming some stuff. Oh, this is so tangled. What did I do? Hang on. I don't care. Playing with the camera's unprofessional. This is my studio, and it's a mess. Studio life is messy. I'm going to drop the tripod a bit. So I'm going to get closer to the plate. There we go. So you can see it actually had an issue right here with the support material. This all came out pretty good, but this got munged up for some reason, which I don't care. As long as the rest comes out, I'm willing to let it go. I wish I could figure out how to cure this problem when the support material connects to the surface and how badly the surface comes out. I don't like that. It looks just bad and it requires a ton of working and finishing. Basically stuff I just don't even want to bother with. But you kind of have to if you want a good good finish, good product. So, shit. Whatever. I'm just trying to get some stuff done. I'm so jealous. There's a convention going on right now, and I am not there. That makes me sad. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to try and start the print again. So let's get the back hatch going and see what happens. Actually, you know what? A good idea. Since I had a failure here, basically every time I have a failure, I apply a little bit of glue to the surface. What's weird is, or actually not what's weird, what's funny is this plate, even though it's pretty dry and smooth, when it gets humid, all the old glue activates and it becomes super tacky. And those are the days I actually have the best prints, just because like everything just sticks to the surface in the best way possible. So I actually kind of don't. I kind of treat my build plate like a seasoned skillet. You don't clean it. At least I don't clean it. You get good seasoning that way. Alright, before I go and print again, I'm definitely going to level the bed. It doesn't wander too much, actually. Someone said I should get some channel locks in this thing. I agree, I probably should. I've got these little orange racers to keep the springs from wandering around, and that seems to help. But channel locks might be a good idea. I'll have to look into that. Alright, turn off the power supply. Use a sheet of paper. Yeah, see, that's it's pretty rough. You want barely any friction. I usually like to go corner to corner on these things. Basically going like a little zigzag. So my friend found the part to his CR10 Max, but unfortunately he's out of town to visit his sister, so I can't use it at all this week, which I really want to start doing soon. I want to start making custom sunglasses for costumes. I think that'd be I'm like thinking of ways to make money. So I can have some income. Like legit, I need to legit go into business for myself. I'm so tired of working for people. I just want money. I want to be able to be happy and be creative all day and pay rent. It's a tall order, I know. I think we're all just trying to figure out how to do that. I know several people here in the studio definitely do that already. Their job is their hobby, is their skill is their profession. I want that. This feels good. Turn the printer back on. Let's try and print something. See, the print bed's heating up now. That was the first problem I had, was the frayed wire, the torn wire actually. It was torn out of its socket. It just wouldn't heat up, so I had to dissect it. But in the process, I might have done damage or something. I might have introduced a new issue where the stepper motor wasn't working. Because that's what happened last night. The print failed with the stepper motor. Failed on this corner. You can see the blob. So, I'm going to try it again. See if we can't. We'll see what happens next. I'm hoping it'll pick up. I'm hoping that was just the issue that the cable just got caught on the metal lip, which it wants to do. It wants to lean that way. I need to figure out a way to train it to go the other direction so it doesn't get caught on anything. But let's find out what happens here. So the last thing I need well actually, if it does break, if this thing breaks down and you know what, I've been able to fix everything that's happened so far. So I'm confident, short of a board actually frying, I'll be able to fix whatever goes wrong with this thing. I really need to learn how to build my own so I can actually have really large printers, have my own machine that can tear apart, put back together, and expand it. And it doesn't look that complicated. I mean, it looks like it's easy to use. It looks like you just need to get the rods and belts that are long enough to support the motors and the wiring as well. But surely it's doable. That's something I would definitely like to stream, is building a printer from scratch. something 1,000 millimeters cubed. That's pretty friggin' huge. I don't think I'd ever need any of that kind of volume. Maybe 750 cubed. I think that's the largest I need to go because this girl here, she is roughly 500 millimeters across, 50 centimeters, just because of the ears. So I think 750 is about the largest I would possibly need. I don't think I need to go much bigger than that. And just a thought. That'd be fun to do. Who knows, maybe I'll try and print a car one of these days. Build a large enough printer. I can be like Mr. Beast, but instead of giving everybody money, I'll just 3D print them houses and stuff. I wonder if I can 3D print myself a career. Let's see, maybe. That's actually a possibly doable. Alright, this thing's about to take off. Let's see what happens. I've been keeping my eye on Twitter all day because there's so much cute shit going on in Chicago, I think that's where that one con is going on right now. Oh god, I'm so jealous. Alright, let's get to the control panel. Let's look at the... There we go. So it's off. And it's printing. So far, so good. I usually wait for at least the first 2 layers of the support and the skirt to go down before I'll walk away from it, feel uncomfortable. I know, because this is a warehouse. I'm in a warehouse, and the temperature, I can't decide to put my hair up or down today. Probably up would be smart. I'm going to be working with a lot of crap. There's no climate control in here, so I'm at the mercy of the elements to a degree. So if it's cold in here. If it's hot, this place is very hot. It's a tin can. It's easy to go down. So I'm wondering if the temperature is significantly impacting the print quality. Because right now it's pretty normal. It's like 60, 70 degrees. Pretty average. Balmy, I guess you could say. It's actually a really nice day out. It's sunny, not a cloud in the sky, nice and cool. I'm gonna go walking in the park later, just to get some more exercise in here. There's a park across the street from my house now. So I'm gonna go walk and play Minecraft and see what that game is like. It's like it seems like nobody's playing it. I feel kind of bad for Minecraft, but there's really no point to it. Almost. You can collect materials and you can build them, but then what? You know? Alright, well, you know what? The layers are going on smoothly, so let's set up. Where's my hot keys? I guess they're not universal hot keys now. There we go. Let's set up and paint this today. Oh my god, can I put my headphones in here? No, it's not. It's not that big. Anyway, we're gonna paint this. Spray paint it. Hope you like noise, because we're going to make a little bit of racket here for a minute. Find my filters. Alright, time to start cooking. Hey, starving peasant. How you doing? Yeah, it's actually a little anime mask. Making furry stuff. I gotta tell you.
There we go, back. I'm sorry, I got like, I'm basically on like 3 extension cords. So once in a while I'll pull the plug on one of them. Anyway, I'm back. Yeah, I'm making like animal costumes. So let's see how the latest print's going actually. Let's check on this shit. So far so good there. Alright. Hey! How you doing? I'm sorry, go ahead. No, you're good. What's up? No, you're fine. I'm like... Yeah, do whatever out there. I'm good. Alright. So, all sorts of things are going on right now, which is nice. Spray can. Where's my spray can? I had everything in my hot little hands, and now I can't find it. Oh, good times, good times. Let's put our filters away. We'll put the whole bag away in the bag. I'm really trying to take care of my stuff here. Now, some of it I neglected horribly. Who the hell does this with scissors? This is what happens when you use resin and fiberglass on a good pair of scissors. I regret everything. These glasses are yellowed and old and beat up. I'm like actually probably gonna have to replace them. And right now, I am just like transfixed with Twitter right now because oh my god, there are some really cute ass costumes out there right now, and I adore them so much. I'm just, aw, somebody's tweeting, oh, hang on, someone's talking to me over Telegram. I'm like, oh, like, people are talking to me in Telegram. Anyway, okay, where were we? God, this text is so small. Cleanup, plugging, priming, shake can vigorously, okay. 12 to 65 inches. I had actually to get a lot closer than that because I was in a causeway and there's a lot of wind, so which is good because that keeps the fumes out of my face on top of the filter. Apply 2 more light coats a few minutes apart. How long does it take to cure? Drying and basically dries to touch in 10 minutes. Surgery recoated. The rest of the light cuticle for 4 minutes. Okay, so we'll go back out in a few minutes and we'll have to turn it over a little bit to apply another coat. I got kind of heavy with the. I don't use it that often, so I should probably, well, you know, practice. Anyway, we'll turn this over and we'll do another coat on the other side that I couldn't get to because, you know, it's round shit. You gotta flip it over. God, I'm so bad at typing today. What's with me? And okay, so that's sprayed. That's going. It seems to be going good so far. I've been painting, which is good. I set up. I'm doing a study of my teacher. She's a pretty good painter in her own right, and I've been kind of copying some of her work. So she is really good at plein air. She gets these really amazing senses of light and shadow. Like she captures atmosphere. She doesn't just render. She captures that atmosphere, and it's amazing what a single brushstroke can represent when placed right and colored right. And I don't have that. I don't have that ability or that skill in my painting. I kind of feel like I get close at times, but not quite. There's a lot of work going on behind me. There's a guy who paints with bullets. Who paints on bullets, I should say. It's pretty cool. That's how he pays his bills. He does bullet paintings. I'm gonna make animal costumes. That'll be my thing. The paintings are, like I say, I'm selling paintings, but it's not that reliable. I don't always have a buyer, and I'm not at that point yet where I feel like I can support myself off my own art. The fact that I'm selling is encouraging. That's a good place to be. I need to make more now. I've sold everything that's really, not everything, but the little stuff. I've sold almost all the little stuff. Where was I? I got all these chat windows going on. Like I said, I'm just transfixed with Twitter. Oh my gosh. I'm just like in love with Twitter right now. Twitter, and then Telegram and Discord and all these just messages everywhere. yeah, so stuff, talking. Anyway, print's working great. That's good. I want to make sure because that thing needs to stay working until I can start selling more things, because then I'm going to upgrade my printer. I hear Rex buzzing about. He'll probably over by this studio in just a bit. So we'll go out in just a second and check on the... I want to give it a few more minutes to dry. I didn't even look at the clock, so I have no idea how long it's been setting. But I should probably give it a few more minutes. Blender. I've been practicing a lot of Blender lately, because I need to get good at that, because that is what is going to support me. That's what I'm going to be using to make all this stuff. So I can't afford ZBrush. So I figured, Blender is quite capable now. So that's what I'll be using. You gotta be careful, I got paint on my fingers. Don't scratch your eyeballs with paint on my fingers. So I'm gonna do a lot more Blender and try and make that work for me. Like I said, I'm gonna have to do a lot with little right now. I got a 200mm print bed, which isn't a lot of space. So I have to print in so many pieces and then do a lot of gluing and sanding and priming. I want to work larger in the future, so blah blah blah, rambling. I'm not even looking at the chat window. There we go. Usually I can ramble on without having anything specific to talk about, no problem. But right now I'm just like, I'm surrounded by distractions. There's so much going on. I just want to stare at Twitter all day. Like, I'm legit jealous of a lot of people right now. There's a furry convention going on. I'm not at it. Now I'm just sad. Beautiful things out there. Okay, stay focused. Stop staring at Twitter. Well, let's check on our spray. Let's see how it's doing. Unprofessional camera stream. Here we go. I need a longer USB cable. I want to see what the longest one I can get away with is. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I could use a couple more minutes. Well, I think it's dry enough we can do another coat, so let's do that. Good. Somebody bought a tree. Now we all have ornaments to make. I don't know what to do, but I'll figure it out. I gotta put this somewhere where it's not gonna fall on birds. Okay, we're good. I get closer. Let's see. That's about as close as I can get. It was. Alright, we'll probably hit it again in a few, 10, 20 minutes. Let's get back to the desk. Gently pushing my printer. It kind of wants to walk off the table. I gotta clamp it down again. Forgot to do that. Alright, so far, so good. Just gotta let that dry now before we can start sanding. Well, actually, I can't sand for 4 hours, so how long have I been streaming? I've been roughly an hour. Huh. I wonder if I should end the stream here for now, because otherwise I was just gonna be me doing. I was gonna do Blender for a few hours just to kind of try and learn it more. So I don't like how YouTube is inconsistent with its framing. There we go. It's a bit better. So maybe I should just do that. We'll go over Blender. We'll watch YouTube Blender lessons together while I perform. Where's my stuff? I've got a bag of stuff with me. Actually, I don't need that stuff. Let's launch Blender. Actually, they did an update. Let's download Blender update. They have 2.81. So A 81A is what we have now. Okay. Save. I actually thought about joining Blender Cloud. Like, I hate the subscription world we find ourselves in now. I don't like that everything is a subscription. Very few things I'm willing to subscribe to. Blender Cloud, I think so, because it's a useful educational resource. I can appreciate Adobe Cloud, Creative Cloud, because it can be affordable. But at the same time, you're not owning anything anymore. But like I said, a Creative Cloud is okay because it's actually pretty affordable. But other things like Maya subscription, but the fact of the matter is everything is a subscription now. And you own very little anymore. You want to watch TV now, it's a la carte cable all over again. Subscribing to 5 different services is like anywhere between, each one's $10 a month, so that's $50 a month. I quit subscribing. My brother and I were paying over $100 a month in cable bills just for cable channels. We unsubscribed to that shit. We just went straight internet back in 2008. Never looked back since. I just don't see a value in a lot of this stuff. Consoles, their online is a subscription. Now they have Game Pass subscriptions, and now streaming gaming subscriptions, and then your TV streaming. And if I want security software that's worth a damn, then that's a subscription. I have a webcam, I have a security cam, and like the software for that's a subscription. Your doorbell is a subscription. Your thermometer is practically a subscription. I mean, Jesus, Louise. If I were to subscribe to all the things I really wanted in this day and age, I'd probably be spending hundreds of dollars a month in bills rather than owning anything. I lose it the instant I stop paying, so I don't like it. I'm not fond of it. I think stuff like Blender Cloud here is okay because it's an educational resource that's designed to make you improve, to be better. Adobe is okay. Creative Cloud is okay because it is affordable. I don't have to pirate Photoshop. Like in $10 a month, I get Photoshop and Lightroom. You know, that's a good deal considering that software you can use. So I can understand the argument for productive software like Maya, but Maya is very friggin' expensive. I remember when they were handing out 3-year licenses to students. Now I think you get like 2 months trial. No, it's still downloading. Aren't you slow? This is a fast internet connection too. I'm like streaming. I'm not even streaming at a high bit rate, so I'm not like clogging the internet tubes. Yeah, that's almost done downloading. But I mean, yeah. Oh hey, sorry, I see the chat updated. Oh no, why is it not updating? Huh. The unified chat is not updating. Let's refresh. I thought I was seeing everything, but clearly I'm not. Bear with me 1 second. Joe, how you doing? How are you doing today? Sorry, I'm working with like different I'm working with a different multi-streaming service now. I'm working with MobCrush instead of Restream. So there, now it seems to be working. Oh my God, Joe, have you been seeing Twitter today? All the stuff that's going on at MFF. Oh my gosh, there's so many amazing costumes out there. I was just like, I am jealous. Like, I want in on this action. I'm so sad that I'm here. I mean, I am, but I'm not at the same time. I'm home being productive, but. Anyway, so I'm making my own magic over here, slowly but surely, one print at a time. Actually, I got the, if you're just tuning in, yes, the sheep hats. Holy shit. Oh my God, let's get the sheep hats on the screen. I just want to show it. I was like, I've been fawning over this all day. Where are you? Where's my Twitter? Oh God, I'm gonna show my Twitter on stream. I don't care. I don't want any booties showing up on me. Look at them. Oh my God, aren't they amazing? Oh wait, you can't see me. There we go. Oh, look at them. That's just the best. I want to draw little hearts over everything. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's like, wow. I so want, oh, where did that tab over to? I got it on every window, it seems. Okay, Blender finished downloading. Let's, but yeah, where was I going before I just completely derailed? I'm installing the latest Blender right now because I always want to have the latest and greatest Blender. I am so excited for 8.2, the sculpting tools they are putting in there. I'm just like looking forward to that. I can't wait to see it. Like I said, that's why I want to learn Blender and not ZBrush, is because it's so capable now, you know? I feel like it's incredibly capable. It is not ZBrush. But man, everybody's jumping on board with it lately. The you know, Epic, and then all these people who are investing in it, and anime studios are adopting it. And, like, I think this is really Blender's time to shine. And I think now is, you know, and I've pecked with 2.79 in the past and earlier, and yeah, you know what, any interface is confounding at first. And I used it here and there, but I was such a Lightwave diehard user because I love Lightwave. I love new tech stuff. And so I was always the Lightwave evangelist, you know, and I know Lightwave like some people know Spanish. It's just I'm fluent in it pretty much. Not as much as I used to be, and I realized just how out of the loop I am. But then also realized, looking at it, trying to move forward with what everyone else is doing versus Lightwave, Blender versus Lightwave. Lightwave is still not capable in a lot of areas, and it's missing a lot of features. And sculpting is something I definitely need to be a part of. And I was looking, I was like, I could upgrade my Lightwave license. That's like $400. I could upgrade my ZBrush license, but that's $800. $750, I think, for like, because I own the core version already. I was like, you know, Blender is pretty capable. I know it's no ZBrush, definitely no ZBrush, but it's still just as good in its own way. And I want to learn it because it's free, and I'm all about getting off the ground right now with whatever I can get my hands on. I don't want to break my budget on a bunch of expensive tools and software. Just work with a tiny printer, work with plastic tripods. Just do it, you know? The Shia LaBeouf, do it. I don't have a green screen to start screaming in front of. You know, no, let's give it a few more minutes. 12:41. Let's at 12:40. Sorry, I'm like, my nose is itchy. 12:50. We're gonna go out and spray the mask one more time. I was spraying the Kig mask I was making. I see Rex. Hey, Rex. Oh, nothing. I'm being productive. Trying. Actually, had to tear this printer apart. Had a frayed wire, and I had, you know, that's the thing about this technology. You can't be afraid to dig in there. It's like a little nerd motorcycle. You got to get under the hood once in a while.
Hey, you have to.
So, it's working again. I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm like, yeah, I fixed it. Yep. The only thing I can't fix is a fried board.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
That's like beyond me, but that's when you just got to buy the new part. But at that point, it's like I'm looking at this thing and I'm thinking like, there's got to be some good lessons out there on how to build these things yourself, because it's really not that complicated piece of hardware. It's just rods and vertical screws and little rubber stepper belts.
How much would you charge me to make a little tiny golden lion?
A little tiny golden lion. How tiny? I don't know. Not much.
$20?
Let's go with $20.
Is that cover you or you?
Yeah, that would more than, I'd have to buy the, I'd buy the filament, which would probably be, $12, $15.
$20? Got it.
$20? Alright.
And I'll have it for my installation.
Okay.
Because I don't want anything, this is what I was looking at on Etsy, but I would rather it be from here.
Mm-hmm.
See if you can find it.
Let me see what I can find for you out there.
I'll send this to you.
Yes, please. Just text.
Or did you remember that one that was that 3D thing? There's like a raster sized one that I really like too. Three-dimensional line. It was on. Have you ever heard of Thingiverse?
Yes, I use Thingiverse quite a bit. Thingiverse is an invaluable resource because my favorite thing about having a 3D printer is that you can print your own tools.
Yeah, like this. So just get it off Thingiverse.
And just print it out for you?
Yeah, and there was one that was kind of an abstracted one that I really liked. It was super basic. I mean, that'd be cool.
Okay.
It's too cliche.
Yeah, it's like very, Animalia.
I don't want it to be from... I want it to be just a pretty generic line. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not with a crown on it or anything like that shit. Just like a lion line. Yeah! Okay, I'll text it to you.
Yeah, text it to me, and I'll get to it.
Okay, cool.
It may take a few days. So I kept having to shoot that. So I'm trying to go to Octoprint. Is there a poopy here? I saw a poopy. So as you can see, it's going along so far. That's going to take And you can see it's going to take another 8 hours to finish. Yeah. We'll go back to Twitter. Yeah, I know, some of my longer prints are, I think the longest print I did took 4 days. God damn, there's some beautiful characters out there. I am so... Like, how am I not following everybody? There's so many people I'm not following, it's like, oh, they're beautiful. Like, I just want to stream just me browsing Twitter all day. That's what this stream should be. Like, oh, look at this beautiful costume. So many beautiful costumes. But yeah, back to me. I forget what my hotkeys are. I usually have like my hotkey pad. I love pawn shop hopping. I love going to orbiting pawn shops, and I haven't done it in a while because if you don't have a job, don't spend money needlessly. I'm about to spend 20 bucks in gold. How much is filament on Amazon? Let's see. Amazon.com. I really like Esun PLA Plus. It seems to be pretty decent. Let's see, gold filament. Oh, there we go. Silk gold printer PLA filament. That looks really nice. I'm waiting for the reviews to load. Excellent reviews. Okay, cool. That's actually, damn. Silk orange, silk gold. Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're artificially lustering it in the photos, but... Let's look at customer images. Well, actually, that looks really good. Okay, add it to my wish list. I should give y'all my Amazon wish list, and you can just buy me things. No one's gonna buy me shit. Why am I doing this in the Octoprint window? Oh, y'all can't see anything anyway. Yeah, I used to love swap meets. God, I miss swap meets, but they're just kind of not the same anymore. Back in the day, swap meets were, oh yeah. Let's, text. There we go. Yeah, I used to love going to swap meets, and I love going to pawn shops, but it's changed a lot in just the past, few years. Just the past few years. They're really especially even like Goodwills, they know that to look on the internet to see what everything's worth. I used to get some amazing deals on stuff, and it's getting harder. It's getting harder to find a good deal. You really got to haggle now, and you gotta have a hell of a poker face. I got a really nice RGB Corsair RGB keyboard, mechanical keyboard from a pawn shop for like 15 bucks. It was cherry red switches. But when the lady pulled it out of the box, it was caked in food, like legit Cheeto dust. Whoever owned this was an absolute slob, and you could see it down in the keys. And I just immediately knew I was just like poker face time, and you know, you just get a solemn, grim look. You're solemn. You know, that's a bad example, but I don't know. You give them silence. You shake your head a little. And you hesitate. You give them hesitation, and you knock a few dollars off. And then you take a closer look at it, and I'm like, man, this thing's caked. They're gonna have to pull it all apart, clean it out. Who knows if it even works? It's gunked. It's crummy. The keys are sticky. The keys are sticking. You make it sound like it's a disaster, and clearly they're not gonna sell it. And sometimes they'll like the keyboard. Yeah, they knocked it down to like $15, $20. I can't even remember what I paid for it. It's like $15 or $20 at most. I'm pretty sure it was 15. But you know, they knocked it down to 15. They knocked it down a lot, and it was dirt cheap. And I got it for nothing. And I took it home, and yeah, I had to tear it apart. I had to clean it up severely. It took some scrubbing with a damp, not a wet, but a damp sponge. And but once I was done with it, it was good as new. It looked brand new, and it types great. It's perfect, you know. But that's the kind of stuff you got to do. And so anyway, long story short, I got a one of those drum pads. It's the what kind of drum pad is it? Sample pad. It was the Nova Mini, I think. The Akai. I think it was the Akai, oh, there it is, Novation Launchpad Mini. That's what I got. I got the Novation Launchpad Mini for $5. And so I use that as my, there's a program somebody made, so you can actually use it. It's basically a poor man's Elgato Stream Deck is what it is. So I would love to have like the giant fancy-ass Elgato Stream Deck, but why use that when you can use the Launchpad, you know, when you can use it like a Launchpad Mini and just use some pieces of tape as your markers. Now the only problem is that it's got three colors, yellow, red, and green, which are like ugly as shit. But I'd like to update somehow to get the RGB one. But that's just a gross misallocation of the electronics, right? Musical equipment right there. Instead, I'm using a $100 sample pad for just a generic hotkey for my OBS. Yes, fountain pens are wonderful too. I have a couple, not old ones, but just, you know, 'cause I'm always about refilling my pens. My pens that I draw with are always being refilled because I burned through. I used to use the Faber-Castell, the Pitt pens, and I burned through them so quickly. I realized I was spending like $50 a month on pens because I was drawing non-stop a few years ago. And I was like, this is undoable. I can't afford this. And I didn't want to go to like Bic pens, though I did for a while. But I found drafting pens, the Rapidografs. I moved to Rapidograph pens, and I kind of love them. They take a certain pressure, a certain delicacy of usage, and you can refill them with really cheap ink. And I mean, not cheap ink. I use Ultra Draw, and it's like, you know, $3 a bottle, but that lasts a while. I've only gone through like 2 bottles since I've started using them. So it's, you know, it's pretty good. It's anyway, blah blah blah. I'm all about saving money when I can, and so I buy a lot of equipment from pawn shops. All these webcams I'm using came from pawn shops. Tripod. Actually, I think I bought this thing, but that was like 20 years ago when I was a kid. My first tripod right there. Now I've got like Manfrottos. I will buy nice equipment when I can afford it. I do have a Manfrotto. But yeah, a lot of my gear came from pawn shops, and definitely no regrets there. save money wherever you can. This laptop I'm using came from a pawn shop. They thought it was busted. Basically, it was a bad Windows 7 install, and it refused to boot. And so we bought it for like, you know, just over $100, but it's an i7 with a GeForce 750M inside. And so it's a rock solid laptop. It plays games and it does Twitch streaming. That's all I need it to do, and it lets me do my 3D printing stuff. So there we are. Oh yeah, I didn't add it to my wish list. I'm sitting here blathering. 1 second. I'm sitting, you know why? Is because let's add this to the wish list real quick, and then we'll go outside and that's pretty good too. There's like all sorts of different. Gold. All right, I'm going to add 2 of these different ones to my wish list. 3D printing. So I had a fun little so apparently the marketing director of Neiman Marcus was in here yesterday, in my studio yesterday. And she says, "I know you." I'm like humble bragging right now, okay? But how can you not share shit like this? She saw my museum show, the exhibition I was at, that I was part of at the museum. And she wanted to talk to me a lot, but she says I looked exhausted and she didn't want to bug me that day. And that's really sweet. I appreciate that. But I was like, no, girl, you should have talked to me. If you were the marketing director of Neiman Marcus, talk to me. So it was really flattering to talk to her for a few minutes, and that she really enjoyed my work in my exhibition and what it was about. And yeah, and I spoke with my old professor the other day. He sounded different. Like he didn't sound as energetic. One of my old professors that I went to school with, that taught me, he didn't sound as energetic as he used to be. Curious how, maybe he was just not feeling good, but his voice, I almost didn't recognize him. His voice sounded different. And it was just like, huh, isn't it interesting how a couple years could change the timbre and tenor and cadence of someone's voice. Maybe he'll be just the same when I see him in person, but he was definitely much more quiet on the phone. I don't know. Thoughts? Subtle name drop, yeah. No, it's flattering as shit to have that person walk into my studio and say, "I know you." That's something. That's a sticker on the that's a sticker on the refrigerator magnet on the refrigerator. It's like, yeah, it's cool. So I hope to cross paths with her. Apparently she knows the owner, Rex, the guy that was just in here. Rex, he's the owner of this place. He's quite the prolific artist. He does shows all over the world. He travels a lot, and so he's got people like that coming in and out a lot. And what's funny is we were talking today. I was telling him all about all these furry costumes and things I'm going to be building, and he is like so on board with this shit. He's like, I want to see that stuff. Everybody actually was like, you better be wearing that stuff around this warehouse now. We want to see you in those things around this studio. I'm like, oh, maybe you will. So I think in the future there might be a lot more of me prancing about in suit. So don't scratch your eyeballs with paint on your finger. Stupid. Thank God I didn't get it in there. Anyway, so I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's like, there's an invitation if I've ever heard one. Alright, let's get out there and check the sculpt, or check the print, I should say, and let's see if it needs another coat. I think it's going to need at least another layer. It's going to need a sanding and then another layer of primer. So let's go check it out. Like I say, I need to let it cure for at least 2 to 4 hours before I do sand it. Oh, get off the printer. So, sorry if this is so unprofessional, I don't care. I only have one camera handy at the moment. The thing about this laptop is that all the USB ports are filled up, and all the USB ports are filled. Hang on, let me get this forward a little bit more so I can flex it better. There we go. All the USB ports are filled, and I've got a hub, but you can't run multiple cameras off a hub. It can really only run one USB camera off of each individual port. That's kind of a pain in the butt, which limits the amount of cameras I can have active. I would actually have to move everything else to the hub, which is pretty doable. I can pretty much do that. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting that I was kind of hoping a hub would allow me to run multiple USB 2.0 cameras, because I mean they're not that demanding, are they? But I guess they are. All right. Let's take a look. I'm trying not to unplug my camera again. So, needs a couple more spots. I think I'll hit it one or two more times in just some key areas. And then we'll let it cure for, yeah, needs it here, and then we'll let it cure. I'll get that transmitter by here. Yeah, I think that'll do it. These glasses aren't ideal for the task, they're just impact glasses, but they're, those other ones are so yellowed and foggy and old, I can't see out of them very well anymore, so I think it's time to buy some new safety glasses. Goggles, really. I don't need glasses, I need goggles. So we're going to let her cure for about, 20 minutes, then we'll bring her inside and we'll let her cure for 4 hours. And we'll do Blender the rest of the time. That's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to probably get some lunch in a bit here, I think. But yeah, like, what's nice is the train tracks right there. Those are two abandoned loading docks out there. I like to go sit on them. It's a really nice place to go sit and just sand and work on stuff. Mainly, it takes the mess outside of here. And two, it's just, especially now in the fall and the winter, it's so much nicer to be out there and just sit on the tracks and watch the trains go by and do your thing. So once I'm ready, I think I'll drag all my gear out there and I'll stream from the loading docks and just work. I wish it was a little bit shadier, like a little bit of an awning, because it's really exposed to the sun, especially in the afternoon. The sun is just right on it. So it can get pretty hot because you're in direct sunlight, but if you can't say you can't see what you're doing. Anyway, let's go back inside now. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. I love Whitewoods. I love this music. I love all their music. Hang on, I want to rewind this song just because I like it. Always stop for Whitewoods. Turn that up a little too. Alright, so we got the latest Blender installed. I'm setting up my desktop so we look at Blender. Oh, the printer stopped. Well, Why is it doing that? Okay, so we do have a problem. The printer just stopped. Damn it. Huh. Like, okay, so hang on, let me pause the music for a bit. Pause it in a school screenshot. Whatever. Okay, so here's the problem. The printer just stopped. The temperature, like it says 00, like it's lost connection. Yeah, it did. It lost connection to the printer. Did I hit something while dragging the camera around to cause that to happen? Is there a, I mean, strange how that happened. So, I have no idea why that's happening. That's the second time it happened. Although it's just saying printer ready, it's not saying stepper motor disabled. So it is cooling off now, so let's get that. Fascinating. So I wonder if maybe I hit something while I was dragging the camera around. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, no, because it happened last night while I wasn't here, but it had a stepper motor issue. So, gotta figure this out now. Do I continue to use the, do I continue to use Octoprint server, or do I continue to use the Octoprint server, or do I try printing off the SD card instead and disconnect the Octoprint? Those are two options. Well, let's try Octoprint one more time since we're going to be here. And we'll keep an eye on it, and we won't be dragging the camera around because we're done for the next 4 hours while the spray cures. Okay, speaking of dragging cameras around, at least we'll take it over here. I wonder if it's something in the G-code. Something's causing this to fail. And it's roughly in the same spot. Alright, I'm starting to really burn through my PLA. Damn it. Is all I have to say. Damn it. Okay. So we're going to try this one. I'm not going to re-level because really we didn't get that far. So I'm just going to start the print again and see what happens. And we're just going to watch it and see how far it gets. And if it happens again, then what we're going to do is we are going to print based off of we're going to we're going to print off the SD card instead and see where that takes us. This is an optional part. I don't need to print this. It's purely an optional part. So but I'll need to print something else, because if it's happening with this, maybe it'll happen with something else, you know, and I need to understand if something's going wrong and start to investigate. I don't like when people get all negative with their stuff. Sorry, I saw a link that intrigued me. Negative reactions. I don't like elitism, you know? I don't like someone saying, "Oh, I don't like what you do. It's ugly or it's scary or terrifying." Who the hell are you? Commentary from a mediocre artist. Okay, sorry, just tending to things. So the printer's going again. Here we go again. But yeah, people don't need to be that way about stuff they don't care for or understand or like. Just keep your opinions to yourself. It's like, I dealt with a lot of shit as a kid, because you know what, maybe I do need to level this thing, it's not really appearing too well. No, it actually seems to be better. Well, I'm gonna see how that behaves, but yeah, you know, it's like, because I'm trans. I look like shit, but when I was a kid, not when I was a kid, but when I first started transitioning, I first started transitioning in the early 2000s, and that's before it was okay to be trans. And I still put up with a lot of shit. It's just a lot more subdued now, but you know, I had reasons for being scared to come out or to be trans, and unfortunately, you know, not exactly what you would call a good transition. And I kind of feel it every day, that people are judgmental, and it's like, I hate it when people have to express it, and they have to act on it. And it's very selfish, and it's very arrogant, and it's very elitist. I don't like that people feel the need to just inflict their opinions like it matters somehow. Like, I don't like this, and I'm going to make sure everybody around me knows this, and I'm going to make sure you especially know what I think of you. I hate that shit. I fucking hate it so much. So I'm a little bit, and even as a kid, I was a gay kid. I was trying to figure myself out when I was 7. And as a result, I got the shit beat out of me a lot, You're a kid in the 80s and 90s, the faggot is the one that got beat up all the time, which was me. I was the faggot. The word to describe me. And so, it's like as a kid, I'm a little sensitive to that kind of thing, I think, because I spent a lot of time home from school, from being beat up all day. Because people wanted to go out of their way to make sure that I understood. They didn't like me. They didn't like what I was. So, I don't know. I just went down a rabbit hole. I don't care to stay in. I guess what I'm just trying to say in not so many words is, it's 2019. Shut the fuck up already. Where were we? Trying to print. That's where we are. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to set up Blender, so we have a. Let's get Blender window. Blender. It's there. Yeah, the interface is there. It's kind of covered up by all the other things. Let's see if I can scale it in a little. It's the back hatch to the Kig mask that I'm working on. It's so that we can close it, so it stays on your head more firmly. Otherwise, I'm just going to install a strap. But I kind of wanted to have the hatch. I didn't want to do a strap. I can have Blender, most of Blender visible. I'm gonna have ugly black spaces, black bars though. Yeah, that works. There we go. Cool, I got another scene set up. Yeah, back hatch. So that way I can, because that's something I want to definitely experiment with, our shell designs. Straps, because one of the things I'm dealing with some of my stuff is that the straps are getting old and they're stretching, and it's getting harder for them to rest and stay firm on your face. So straps wear out, and they can be a pain in the butt to replace. So I think a hatch would be a better, more durable long-term design. And I want to design things to the point where they're integrated into the print, where the hatch is pre-built in there, and I'm not having to utilize stuff from Home Depot, the hardware store, to get it to hinge properly. So I know some people out there have done that, so I need to figure out how to do that for myself. Alright, I'm going to have to abandon the print already. I can see a ball, spaghetti forming. So let's go ahead and stop. Yes. So now I'm going to have to scrape it, and I will have to level. So it's fine. Fair enough. Can do. Bear with me just a second. Kind of optimizing. I know this is so amateur hour. I know that, you know, professional streamers don't do this shit on their stream, but we're just kind of winging it right now. Can you add like blank resources? Like can I add a little? Yeah, I can add a color source. White. Ta-da! There we go. So I have a little bit more concise. Actually, this. Hang on. Let's go to studio mode real quick. Sorry, so you don't see all my blundering around. Ah, this is good enough. You know what? This is fine. This works for now. I'm trying to keep Windows kind of buffered. Like, I'm trying to keep Windows partitioned on my desktop for optimal space, so I can see everything that's going on without, like, tabbing around so much. There we go. So now I can see a bit more of my desktop. Okay, that's actually better now. So the Octoprint window is on one side, my sources are on the other. So let's scrape. And we can put the music back on because I'm done kind of mildly panicking. Fixing a source again. One second, I'm gonna come back to that song because I love that song too. I'm such a nerd for those guys. Let's go here. I need something that's in a 19:20 aspect ratio, or 6:9, 16:9. What am I saying? Basically, I'm cropping in my sources. That's what I needed. That should be interesting. Okay. So let's go back to Whitewoods. I love their shit. Let's set a hotkey for Blender scene. Control 3 is not working. I thought I set it to switch to Blender scene. Oh, switch to scene. Wrong hotkey. There we go. Well, first things first.
Yeah, just meet me there. I'll get the keys. Yeah.
Hello. Gotta level this thing now. Well, let me get my stuff out of their way real quick. Alright, so we got it inside now. So this is going to dry for a while, for 4 hours before I start sanding. Yeah, I got heavy in spots, but it's going to need a few. It's going to need a few coats, I think. But we want to take it from here to here, eggshell smooth. Anyway, so okay, let's level this thing. Actually, I forgot to do one key thing that we're going to take care of real quick. I actually need to preheat the PLA. I got to make sure this nozzle is absolutely flat, otherwise it won't level correctly. So right now, I need for that to get a little bit higher. Whatever. Okay, so now the print head's gonna cool off. It's like the temperature's low enough now that I know that they won't ooze any, and that it'll be a smooth experience. So then we can level this thing. There's so many woodworkers in here that there's always a layer of sawdust on everything. It sucks. It's actually kind of rough for printing and doing this kind of stuff. I gotta constantly dust these machines as a result. Nothing that can be done about it. It's just the trials and tribulations of working in a warehouse or a non-enclosed space. But I got a bit of space for what I do, so I'm not complaining too much. Oh, there is a little bit more there. Scrape it away. Okay. Yes, I love King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. These guys fucking rock so hard. I know the song is Big Fig Wasp, but I keep thinking they sang Big Thick Wasp. So just imagine this big thick wasp shaking her booty. Yeah, this definitely shifted. Because you gotta, you have to after every print. Foolish of me to assume otherwise. How's the music level, by the way? Is it overpowering or quite enough? There we go, it's feeling pretty good. I usually do 2 or 3 passes. Alright, let's give this another go. Oh, you don't hear any music? Interesting. This whole time I thought there was like at least some music playing. How about now? I feel like I need to hear my own stream. Actually, I know how to hear my own stream. I guess it was way too quiet. Usually my music is way too loud, and now I have it set downward. Alright, hang on, let me try my own. Let's set up my own stream. Where is my Twitch app? Oh, not at all. No, you're good. The only way you'll be in my way is if you have to start coming in here and sitting on my desk. Otherwise, you're good. How do I view my own video? Like, where get on my dashboard? There we go. There's my channel. There's a lot of background noise. You can hear everything. I realize it is really noisy, but I need to bring a better microphone in, but I need more extension cables. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? Noted for the future. We'll improve audio quality next time. I need to order some super. Let's see how long let's go to Amazon.com and see. USB extension cable. 25 feet. $32 feet. Why is the base of that so thick though? Active repeater extension cable. Bus powered single USB port. No need for separate power plug to wall. Okay. So Lewis. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Sorry, we're shopping. We're shopping for USB extension cables because I'm dragging my camera. I'm sorry about the noise. I'm going to improve that because I need USB extension cables because I drag my camera all over this studio, this warehouse. So things are a little bit choppy right now, a little bit less than stellar. Hang on a second. To get back to this, let's get this running again real quick. We're trying to finish printing. Let's get this print started, start the process. Okay. So what we're doing here today, for the moment, we're trying to finish this off. A mask. Cute little animal mask. We're trying to finish the last part for it. So I can finish working on it, but we're having issues with the printer today. See, actually, I don't want to derail for a second. Is this bad streaming etiquette? I know you hit the follow button and it was announced. So, but you are lurking. So therefore, is that bad etiquette to address the follower, the new follower? Well, it's good that the quality is good, but I need the audio quality to be better. It needs to be more clear. There's so much, this is a warehouse, so there's so much going on in the background, so many vents and fans running. I feel like I need a microphone that's a bit more focused. Like I've got a Yeti, and then I've got my field microphone that works as a webcam mic half the time. So I just need to get the two working together. That's why I'm looking on Amazon for like extension cables. So I'm gonna add this to my wish list. That's fine, default wish list. So 32 feet, that's pretty good. I feel like I need more. I need, like, do they come in 50 feet? Hang on, let's see. USB extension, 50 feet. Oh, they do come in 50 feet, look at that. Powered, Fastwell. I love this.
Constitutional rights. We would like to leave you with one very important thought. Sometime in the future, you may have the opportunity to serve as a juror in a censorship case, or a so-called obscenity case. It would be wise to remember that the same people who stop you from listening to Boards of Canada may be back next year to complain about a book, or even a TV program. If you could be told what you can see or read, then it follows that you can be told what to say or think. Defend your constitutionally protected rights. No one else will do it for you. Thank you.
That is an interesting little PSA at the end of the Boards of Canada album. It actually comes from pornography from the 70s, which is a very, very poignant way to end a porn film, you know? But the message is altered slightly in that, but it's all about, I like that, it sticks with you. If you can be told what you can read or say, then you can be told what you can say or think. So those are some strong points right there. Okay, so we're gonna order in the future, I'm gonna order some 50-foot USB extension cables. So I want to be able to drag these things all over the studio without relying on a daisy chain. I've got a daisy chain of 3 USB extensions right now. Not ideal. Oh, I think this printer's getting ready to go again. Yeah, it's at the right temperatures. See what happens. Alright, until then, let's get to my, get to some Blender tutorials. See how this is the YouTube window's constantly offset? I feel like I can't get it right. But I feel like it conforms to whatever. I'm not even gonna think about it. What we need is, yeah, it seems like the USB cables I'm looking at are powered, so they're repeater cables, so you don't have to worry about the device not being able to power itself. Although I am gonna have to read some reviews to see if they can run off of, if webcams can run off of them. Yay, I'm just having so much fun on Twitter today because there's all the pictures from MFF are flooding in. All the furry pictures, please. Yes. Okay. Where's my history? That's the easiest way to. History, see all. That's the easiest way to find this Blender video. This tutorial video. There's a lot of. Man, where is it? Maybe not.
The low poly.
Okay, here's the end of the tutorial, which is where I was at, so. We're gonna pause the music. Oh, I know. I'm just gonna. It actually kind of makes me a little sad, just because.
The low poly.
See, like that's not centered. So let me. Yeah, let me edit the source again. Why is it always so off? There we go. Anyway, so we're gonna be following the C-Shack tutorial. I am gonna have to crank up the quality. So, like I say, I'm trying to learn Blender, so I'm following this guy's series of tutorials. So I did the little monster scene, I did his low poly well scene. So I'm like really starting to understand, you know, the power of Blender. I'm actually starting to get warm in here. It's like started off really cool in here today, and I was like, oh, it's getting hot. Where's my ceiling fan? Or where I have like oscillating fans all around me. Yeah, in the summer, I'm just covered in fans. It's the only way to exist in this place. Without the fans, I think I would be dead. I see a potential glue ball forming, so we're going to keep an eye on that. The print might fail at any minute. So let me open see if I have a Blender file. Like, I thank God for cloud software, because I can sync everything between home and here. Where would I put it? In my Blender folder? Yes, it is. Okay. Let me just keep my Blender folder local. Always keep on this device. Alright, that's probably gonna... There we go. That wasn't so bad. I don't think. Hopefully that doesn't impact the streaming. Okay, so... File, open, don't save, C-Shack. There we go. So that's following this tutorial, as you can see here. This is like the end of the tutorial where they instruct you how to get this far. I like it. It's starting to understand this thing. Yeah, like, you know, it's a little... The interface has definitely improved a bit, quite a bit. Not drastically, but it's relatively the same. But it's a big but. I'm sure. Yeah, I think I know exactly who cheers you up, Joe. I know. I'm a print. I'm worried it might fail at any second. Like, it's just plugging away, but it's doing okay. Anyway, so learning Blender, I'm starting to understand and appreciate the workflow and how everything works in here. So we got to the end of this tutorial. This is where he kind of leaves you off, but he says to fill out the rest and basically continue making the shack. So let's listen along to what he has to say. Yeah, like he kind of shows how to kind of get that warped cartoonish look, because it's very cartoonish looking little scenery, stylized, but it's all very low poly, because I guess he's trying to keep it very simple. But we're definitely going to get into the more complicated stuff where we're going to be doing the sculpting. But I figured, you know what? It's important to learn how to work the interface and how to work the models. Because I know ZBrush, you people will build a lot of stuff off of Z-spheres, which is a shame. I could never get Z-spheres to work. My computer would always, ZBrush would always crash when I try to work with the Z-spheres, and that's a big handicap for me. I feel. But with Blender, I feel like, I wonder if somebody made a Z-sphere-like plugin for this. That's worth investigating. But I know a lot of modeling and sculpting comes with injecting primitives and adding them to your model to quickly flesh out shapes or give you at least basic basic shapes. So that's what I need to understand. I need to understand how to work with the models, how to work in poly modes, how to do everything before I start sculpting, because there are going to be instances where I'm going to need to create primitives to boolean out surfaces. And is that going to work? I'm trying to stick my fingers in here to get the piece out. Yeah. Hang on, this is just giving me a moment. So once I understand like how to work the program properly, not expertly, just well enough to get into trouble, I feel like I'll be ready to produce. So I'm trying not to waste. I am wasting a bit of time, but I'm also trying not to waste too much time, because. But I feel like if I at least understand the program and know what I'm doing well enough, I won't have to stop and research answers as much. Got it. Cool. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so it's looking kind of cute. So let's see what he says in the tutorial.
Really well, and the man and the monster scene, and that you're relatively happy with the interface and getting used to many of the tools. So in this series we're trying to advance those tools and introduce a few more, and hopefully coming up with a nice outcome. And we'll be talking about artistic techniques and how
Scroll to the end where I left off.
of your shack. You can see mine a bit closer here. I've got sort of random planks going across just to give it some variation. I've got supporting beams just holding up other beams in places, so do look at structures and see how they're made. I've got supporting beams holding those other supporting beams attached to the stilts, and I've adapted the shape here for the roof and put some small ones in for a doorway and some windows. This is kind of poorly done really. I could have some supporting beam around there. And of course there's no supporting beam there, so that would actually not work. But you can get away with bits and pieces like that. So see how you get on with that. Try and complete the shack with the wooden frame. Don't worry too much about the minor details. The roof and other pieces will go into more detail in later episodes. Thanks for watching, I hope this helps, and I'll see you.
So let's rewind a little bit to see. There we go. So we're going to leave it there as reference. And I'm going to actually tab that over to the next window. Get my chat back in front of me. It's over here. Alright. And I'm going to peek at Twitter again because I can't help myself. Show me adorable things. Some cute photos. Somebody's posting a picture of White Castle. I'm jealous. I've got microwavable White Castle burgers at home, but that's not quite the same now, is it? Nothing amazingly new. I'm gonna have to wait for, like, you know, tonight when all the suitors really come out. Alright, back to work. Damn. Now I'm getting hungry. Maybe I should take a break for lunch, go home and eat those microwavable White Castle burgers, come back, and then we can, we'll do Blender modeling. Yeah, that sounds like a good stopping point. Let's break for lunch. I've been streaming for what, like 2 hours now? Just rambling on inanely. 2.5 hours. Okay, let me go get some food. I live down the street, so it's like I'll be gone 15-20 minutes. It gave me about 30 minutes for a lunch break. It's 2 o'clock exactly where I'm at right now. So at 2:30, I should Yeah, no, you're in England. You know what? I was supposed to come back to England in March, but that plan fell through, unfortunately. It was gonna be part of my job, but the boss lady fired me because I guess she decided I just wasn't working out after all. You know, whatever. I think I already told that story in the last stream about what happened. Or anyway, yeah, let's break for lunch. I want lunch, and I'll come back. I'll let this print run for a while. This thing's chugging along. I'll break for lunch, come back, and then we'll do some, we'll learn Blender together, is what we'll do. So, cool. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for following. I'll be back to get more things done. And then in the evening, we'll start sanding this girl. We'll sand her tonight around, I don't know. I want to give her plenty of time, so 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, about 4 hours. 5 or 6 is a good time, yeah. So, anyway, I'll be back. Have a good one.